justice high enough for me, so I'm just going to pull this out. And I'll tell you, Jim, you're trying to wear the KU and the K-State hat. A lot of us in politics have been trying to do that for a long time, so I don't understand how difficult that can be. I tell you, this has been a week of smiles in Kansas. First of all, we had the unbelievable KU basketball win on Monday night, and I've seen people smiling all week for that. The Kansas City Royals actually beat the New York Yankees two games. I mean, you know, even if we lose the rest of the games, we've got that. And I thought I'd seen some pretty big smiles, but you know what? I don't think I've ever seen smiles like I've seen on the faces of the landowners that are going to have turbines on their property here in Cloud County. Now, there are some really big smiles in this room. You know, I was talking with Gabriel from Horizon, and Gabriel made a comment that I agree with completely, and that is that our wind is a gift. Kansas is blessed to have this wind because of the impact that it can have on our economy and for our state and for our country as we begin to take advantage of this amazing resource that we have. We're just now beginning to scratch the surface and understanding what this can do for our state. The statistics all show that Kansas is the third best state in the country for wind, one of the best places in the world, and I think we're experiencing that today. But until very recently, we hadn't taken advantage of this. We lagged very far behind the other states in developing wind power. Less than 3% of our energy going into this year has been provided by wind. And so at the local level, at the federal level, at the state level, we've all put a huge priority into figuring out how to take advantage of our wind power. Our state, unlike many other states, doesn't require utilities to have wind power. And so what's happened here is really a unique and very good Kansas story, and that is that we've sat down with our utilities and we've said, look, let's work together, take advantage of this resource and make developments like this take place. And so the credit goes to a lot of people, but it in large part goes to the utilities, who despite not being forced to get into wind power, have made the decision to do it. So I'd like to first of all congratulate all the local officials to make something like this happen. I wish I knew the names of all the people that were involved in thinking about this ahead of time and really making it happen, but I know that there are a lot of heroes that did that. I also want to congratulate and thank Horizon, who got into this industry long before it was the chic thing to do, and has targeted Kansas as a place to develop wind. And I in particular want to thank the two utilities that will be purchasing the power. Empire, which was really a pioneer for purchasing wind power in the state of Kansas, and now Westar, which last year, as a result of a voluntary agreement entered into with the governor, announced the largest purchase and development of wind, we believe, in the United States, when they announced 500 megawatts all at one time. So a lot of great things have happened, and I will tell you, this is just the beginning. West Kansas, and particularly western Kansas and north central Kansas, are unbelievable places for wind. And we will end this year, having come into it only generating 3% of our electricity from wind. We will end this year having gone from 364 megawatts of wind to over 1,000 megawatts of wind in Kansas. We'll be just the 7th state in the country to have 1,000 megawatts of wind, and we'll be the only state that's been able to do it voluntarily without forcing the utilities to do it. So let's thank the utilities for coming along and doing this for us. I now get a chance to introduce somebody that's been a friend of mine for many, many years. We sat next to each other in the state senate for 2 years, and he knows all my secrets, and he's a good enough politician that I don't know any of his. His service to the state and to the 1st District speaks for itself and has been incredible, and he also has the advantage of literally representing the single congressional district that has the most opportunity for wind in the United States. I think that we will go from 1,000 megawatts of wind in the 1st congressional district to 7,000 or 10,000 over the next 15 or 20 years, and I know Jerry will be a major part of it, so I'm happy to introduce Congressman Jerry Moran.